How you doing, Ghost?
Oh shit, I'm muted. I've been muted the whole fucking time. I just gave like a whole speech and I was muted. God damn it. Ah! Fuck! I was much better 12 hours ago, but I'll just kind of reiterate what I said. You know, this is bad for the country. If this sticks this way, then you gotta go fight in the courts. If they can win it in the courts, we maybe have some more time. If not, well, we've got to be ready to fight Joe Biden at every fucking angle we can. We got to make sure we put him and his son in jail for grifting, and then we have to move on to Kamala Harris and work our way, back into power, legitimately. Like that's what we have to do. We've got to go destroy people that are grifters and corrupt, and then we have to find a new candidate. Funny enough, Geeky, who do you think we should run in 2024 if the results stand as they seem to be currently?
I don't know.
Donald Trump. That's my pick. If Joe Biden wins this election, let's go full Nixon. Fuck it.
Well, it'll be more like Grover Cleveland, who won a election, then he ran again. It wasn't consecutive terms.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Tucker won't save you, dumb trick. I'm sorry. He's too smart to run for office. He will never. But no, that's what I'm saying. I say. I mean, we go for 2024 with Trump because my hope is this is my optimistic scenario if we have a Biden presidency, which I'm kind of 50-50 on, or 40-60 on. If we do, my hope is that they'll blow their load in the first term and get electorally destroyed, just like in Obama's first term. But I don't. It's weird because they don't have any control of the Senate. Like they lack a little bit of the ability to do that.
Yeah. Also, guess how many votes Kanye got?
How many?
60,000.
Well, thank you, Kanye, because I assume that was a lot of potential Biden voters. Oh shit, Ada Wolf with the host. Thank you, Ada Wolf, and 10 viewers. Let me go mute my stream.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm thinking this might sound like a long shot candidate, but I'm thinking Jeb Bush's son might be a good candidate.
Are you
to make
insane?
Well, he's from Texas, and he keeps Texas still alive.
Yeah, but Geeky, Texas isn't a problem anymore, I don't think. I mean, did you see the performance in Starr County? Holy shit, dude. That's ridiculous. Like, getting a 55-point swing just between an election. I mean, and going from Hillary Clinton, who is much more unlikable than Joe Biden, to Joe Biden. I mean, seriously, Geeky? Like, I don't know. This is why I don't believe the Arizona results. I mean...
Yeah. I mean, well, think about it. If you put Jeb Bush's kid, has military experience, who's been in Texas all his life, he can kind of be what Rubio should have been, or Cruz should have been, which was like... Well, the thing is that they wanted Rubio to be like that Hispanic, like Republican base that fired him up.
Jeb's kid is Hispanico.
Half Mexican. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that might be like a tactically smart move. Be interesting to play that up.
Yeah, put him on the ticket so you get all those people to vote in Nevada, Arizona.
Well, you could take back New Mexico. You could take back Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem, you don't want them. I mean, what do you think they counter? I mean, well, they'd have to be rerunning Harris and whoever she has there.
I think it might be Harrison Buttigieg.
I don't think so. No, I think that would be a catastrophic mistake. I mean, Hispanics and African Americans have no love of gays. I mean, like at all.
So you think Buttigieg's done
I don't think he was
time.
ever viable nationally. I think he was kind of like the weird soccer mom pipe dream. His job was to appeal to like suburban white women who are like, oh, I love my hairdresser, he's great. That was Buttigieg's entire appeal. And I mean, Trump overperformed with suburban white women because of the riots. Obviously, like I said, he would.
Also, Hispanics came out for Trump this year too.
It's a good start. I mean, it's 40% in Texas. That's good.
Let's hunt.
Yeah, Hispanics won them Texas, Florida, and then possibly they might win them Arizona.
Let's all be fair.
The votes.
Cubans are a little different than South and Central Americans, but you are correct. They did. If we want to categorize them to that degree, right? Like, I mean, yes, Cuban immigrants are very
I'm,
different.
I'm like waiting for a break in
Oh,
the
I know
conversation
you're
to
here,
say
Johnny.
hello, but you two never shut up.
How you doing, Johnny Medieval?
What's up?
I felt much better about 12 hours ago. How are you doing, Johnny?
I was expecting like corruption and cheating and stuff, and somehow I'm still surprised. I thought I would wake up and Trump would be president.
I didn't think that. I
Yeah.
always thought they would play it. I just didn't think they would go as hard as they have.
Well, I was telling Adolwolf that they're blocking vote
Yeah, they
checkers.
did that in Pennsylvania specifically. I mean, what is it?
And in Michigan as
The
well.
Pennsylvania governor was like, "We've got 3 million votes left to count." Yeah, right. Really, 3 million votes.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, B?
And the Senate race won't even be called either. How you doing, Johnny?
No, I was saying I was calling Lieutenant Binary V again because he sounds like V.
Oh, there goes. Thanks for the follow. Oh, you're welcome, Lieutenant Binary. No problem, man.
But
I think you're very. Oh, you gave me a
yeah.
follow too. Thank you. Yeah, man. I think you're really entertaining on Johnny Evil show.
Lieutenant Binary is always on.
Right. He's
Rabbi's
the fake
stream,
Dame
Rabbi
Pesos.
Shekels.
Yeah.
He's the fake V.
No, he's fake Dame Pesos. Dame Visos.
But I don't know where he's from, but he sounds Romanian to me.
I think he's a Hispanic of some kind, though, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is he?
That's the spirit.
Is he suck my cojones?
Yeah. Ay, caramba!
I'm just teasing you, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy
Something
listening to him
also-
on Rabbi's show as well. He's very entertaining.
Also, Porter.
Spanish.
He's Spanish. Also,
I'm sorry for accusing you of things that you're not. I mean, I fucked up with Larry
I
Richard
don't-
the other night. I was like,
I
was
don't
he
know
an
why you
editor for the
sound
Stormer?
like-
I was like, fuck, he wasn't. God damn it. I felt so bad because Larry, came by, gave me some diamonds, and hung out, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to fucking disparage him.
Also, Puerto Rico went on full communist, by the way. So,
Oh,
ouch. They elected a communist governor.
Wow.
But they're rejecting statehood, though, so I think they might go for independence.
I mean, better than a state, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for the ice cream, Lieutenant Binary. At least
But-
Lieutenant Binary knows his gender. Is it A? Is it B? No one can be certain. Except for Lieutenant Binary. He knows.
His name, Lieutenant Binary, reminds me of Professor Chaos and Colonel Disarray, or General Disarray.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I thought you were going to say Lieutenant Surge.
It's yeah, Pokemon on the brain, always.
I'm jumping up here to get the
I didn't
side
realize this
thing.
guy was here. I thought that was you shooting. I was like, I'm not gonna shoot. Hey, what's up, Jaberman?
This is actually a tricky jump. I'm probably not going to make it.
You know, it's funny that like I'm here, sitting here, hoping for a redux of the year 2000.
Yeah, it's all even funnier that my Kanye hat and sweater just told me that it's here, so I have to go grab that in a second. But oh, man, it's the fact that the race hasn't been called. The Senate races aren't even called. Alaska's not even done counting. I think they got too cold. How you doing, Ominous? This is just
Hey, Ominous. Since they're cheating up in Michigan, I told my friend Dregs that pops in the chat now and then. He's up in Michigan, so I told him to go sort that out for us.
well.
Where can I send
what's
arms
hot?
to him? I need. Obviously, I'm not talking about weapons trafficking. I'm talking about like ceremonial arms that are part of my weird esoteric Native American culture, where we cut off the arms of our enemies and give them to other
Well,
enemies.
the funny thing is he like raises horses, so I told him I was like you gotta go mount up and raise your sword, buddy. We need you.
One if by land, two if by sea. We ride at midnight. Let's go. I think the
Trump
Senate's
has
gonna
got his-
stay Republican. Cage.
Now do your thing, sugar.
Yeah,
Or
they're off
actually,
the
I don't know
house,
if he
so-
raises horses, he shoes them. I know that. I give up on this jump. I'm trying to get up to the hot sauce bottle while you're
Let's
running
see.
it.
Hatsa.
I suck at the platforming, so I was trying to get the side
First
thing, but
person
I'm
is
doing really
generally
bad.
not an ideal scenario for platforming.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna hop off for a quick second. Might go get some food, maybe go take a quick shower. You guys are still on, I'll jump back on, or if any news comes up. But
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever been on the stream with you, Benner, so good to officially meet
Yeah.
you.
yeah, nice to meet you, Johnny. Also, if you want to look at this video, apparently somebody stole some ballots that had Trump on them and burned them.
Of course.
I don't know
Of
which
course they
state
did.
this is
There's
at.
a bunch of people in Arizona that found out their ballots are all canceled.
Of
Also,
course.
they're letting them use Sharpies to
Oh,
fill
they
out ballots.
intentionally gave them Sharpies so that their ballots would be worthless.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's fucking
see if
boomers,
this-
right?
Yeah.
We count on
gonna
you
be
for
a
one
long-
thing, boomers, okay? One fucking thing.
I believe the Electoral College doesn't vote until December, so we'll see. If nobody picks up a majority, though, does it go to the House?
No, it goes to the House, but it's by state delegations.
Okay, so
So it's, I don't remember exactly how it works.
Please confirm identity.
I think there's a GCP Gray video on that. I'll look that up and it will talk. But if it goes to the House,
Scanning biometric data.
the fact that the Democrats have a nine-seat lead might be scary. But if it's
Well,
by
wait, don't
state
you want to see
representation-
the Joe Biden, Mike Pence ticket run the White House?
Confirmed. Scanning facial recognition.
Oh my god!
Do you imagine
I
how
thought-
funny that? I'm just saying, like, I mean, I wish it was the other way, so it was Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. That'd be so fucking funny. Holy.
Well, Kamala Harris would resign out of disgust, or secretly pull a Scalia on Trump.
That would be, well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put that past her.
Yeah,
But come on, you have
I'll
to
be
admit,
right
that would
back.
be really fucking funny. Like, that's a sitcom.
It would be funny.
I mean,
and
not
also be
not funny for
awkward.
us, you know, having, you know, losing that one important vote in the Senate, but it would be fucking funny from, like, an outside observer standpoint, you know, not for, you know, the sake of the stability and safety of the country, more or less. But
At this point, I'm just hoping we actually do sort this out in the court and not in the streets.
well, if we
That
sort
is
it out in the
also
court,
true.
it will be sorted out in the streets, and
Stay safe, everyone. I'm kind of worried because my father's a UPS driver, and he actually delivers in like the downtown areas of the
I
city.
don't want no Reginald Denny shit happening to your father, geeky.
Exactly. They already boarded up where he's delivering, so I wonder how that's gonna go.
I would just,
you guys stay
I would just take a
safe.
week off. You have a good one, geeky.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Oh,
All
Bye.
right, take care, man.
oh, Cage, you and your balkanization. Oh, fun, Cage. You live in Canada, okay? You don't have to live with the consequences of it.
No, you know, like I do agree with him. I do agree with him.
Oh, we just had to.
If the choice is between civil war or separation, I know which side I
Well,
choose.
guess what? You don't get to choose. It's gonna. If you separate, it's gonna be civil war, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
what happened when the South tried to separate? You remember that one, Johnny? Remember? They're like, look,
Yeah,
let's just.
but you could hope that cooler
They
heads
won't.
prevail.
That's
and
not how
they,
power works, Johnny. That's why they burned down.
Of course.
What cities did they burn down? Did Lincoln burn down? In the South when they tried to secede, which that was their legal right, by the way, in their constitutions. Like they had a perfectly legal argument for secession. It was how when they agreed to become part of the Union, they left in it a hey, we have the right to secede, and Lincoln just said fuck off, suspended writs of habeas corpus. Like, no, I don't. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, but Joe Biden's a cuttering old nice dude. He's just gonna let things happen. He's just gonna let us secede and separate. That's not what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, the habeas corpus thing that's already gone due to like the what's it called, the Defense Authorization
Oh
Act.
no,
whatever it's called.
don't underestimate. But it was the start of it. This is my
Yeah.
point. Like, no, it was the start of this. Okay, we've never, whatever it is. No, he's not gonna let them secede. It's gonna be very violent, Cage. And you better be down here fighting with me, Cage.
But I mean, I was kind of agreeing with you. That type of thing is more likely to happen now that we really have habeas corpus
Oh yeah,
anymore.
yeah. No, I was just going over some of the tyrannical shit that Abraham Lincoln did, because Abraham Lincoln was
Yeah.
not a good leader. Abraham Lincoln was a tyrant. And it's not even about freeing the slaves. Like, that has nothing to do with my assessment of Abraham Lincoln, honestly. Like, none of that. Like, honestly, my opinion on slavery is that economics were going to end it anyway. Like, it's just not feasible. And, literally, if you just said, we're not sending out slave catchers anymore, like, that it would be gone in, like, a couple years. If the state wasn't validating it and endorsing it.
Well, I'm not against the freeing of the slaves.
Well, no, I know.
think they should have
I've
never been brought over.
I
here.
mean, like, like, I'm just saying, like, I think that was not. You got your 300 round Norma Mag precision rifle and all good to go. All right, Cage. I expect you on the front lines, sir.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in New York, so I really would like to find a loophole, but it's
Johnny, I didn't tell you any of
not-
this, but it's called an Ender 3. You can legally purchase pins for setting up rifles, so you get yourself some Pet G. You get yourself some like actual like rifling pins and screws, and you can put yourself together a pretty decent firearm.
I will ask you later to give me this information for science in a
Yeah,
more,
so that you can
recordable
observe, you know, like from a purely hypothetical stance, obviously. But
Yeah.
Control.pew, that's all I'll say. Control plus pew.
I mean, there is also the whole thing about owning what is that license? The federal license for owning curio
Federal firearms
firearms?
license, yeah, that's a good way to get around loopholes. The problem is they're expensive and get granted them.
Yeah,
Is a
exactly.
pain.
But the local firearm licenses in New York are prohibitively
Right,
expensive
no,
as it
you're
is.
correct about
Um,
that.
They made it that
Right,
way.
right.
They,
I mean, the
what
point
they
of
do
that-
what they do is they jerk you around with bureaucracy. They make you pay like $450 in fees, and then they always deny you on the first application, and then keep that.
Right, this
fee.
is why.
So you have to
This is
reapply.
why you print all the parts you need, and then just don't have them put together because it's not legally a weapon until it's assembled.
Yeah. I really would like to start more seriously looking into that type of thing.
The problem I have with the
'Cause
Ender 3.
I would like to just leave New York, but the problem is I can't get my family to leave here
No,
yet.
I understand.
It's not bad
you know,
enough.
and I can't leave California. But what I'd recommend though is the problem. I wish the Ender 3 was better at printing minis, but you have to like tune it to like the nth degree to get it like a good miniature printer. But
Oh, so that's a
it is
3D
a
printer.
The Ender 3 is not a firearm. It is a 3D printer.
To the bloodletting!
It's a FDM. It's a fused deposition molding printer. It's good for making like functional items. While like an SLA resin printer is really good for printing like minis in detail.
There was this other thing that Bibble was telling us about. That what was it, like 80% built?
So that's an 80% lower.
firearms?
Basically, all you have to do with that is get like a drill. Usually people do it with like a CNC machine. You just drill like certain holes in it, and it's functional. It's basically like it's an 80% finish lower, usually all metal. I'd recommend one of those first.
So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, he was saying that it's like 80% built, and then you just have to,
Theoretically, obviously. Yeah. No. So obviously, all theoretical.
Yeah, I'm like trying to watch. I'll ask you
Right.
about some things when
Just
we're not on.
just
stream.
do a little bit of googling is all. Well, get a VPN and do a little bit of googling.
See, the problem is that I have no experience with firearms because I've grown up in this liberal shithole, and like I don't really know how.
Well,
to
what I recommend is
handle
that
these
you
things.
download Brave browser, and I would say use their Tor extension. So just to like better protect your data privacy, to not keep a record. But do that. Go to certain websites, maybe Control Plus Pew or Ghost Guns sells a bunch of 80% lowers. They're supposed to be finished with CNC machines, but if you have access to a CNC machine, like you could easily finish one of them. You just gotta know exactly where the holes have to be drilled and know how to program them.
Now the CNC machine is all cutting it out of aluminum, right?
More or less, yeah. It's just like it'll drill. You need to drill the holes and you need to make it functional. Everything needs hand fitting and a lot of trial and error to build a reliable piece. Absolutely. Unfortunately, if you live in Texas or California, like you don't really have a choice. Then the real problem becomes ammunition, because I don't know.
And at this point, it's not even just me I'm concerned about. Like, I would like my sister to have something to defend herself
Yeah,
with.
and what I'm saying is you can print
old
her
dad.
like a nice tiny piece that she can easily conceal on herself. More or less. Theoretically, yeah, obviously. Yeah, ammo is the problem. Yeah, that's right, Cage.
Yeah,
I would
that's
not.
actually what I was
not,
thinking
stuff
about.
my own. I would not pack my own bullets, basically. I mean, you need background checks for bullets, right? And New York or something.
Well, I think even if I had the curio license, you can't really just have bullets shipped to you here.
No. You can't ship them out of state. I think you have to go through like an actual licensed firearms dealer.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like that's what you do with the curio license is you have it sent through. And the funny thing is, I looked up a guy who handles these procurements for curio licenses, and it's a Russian guy in Staten Island.
Exactly. But Smokane brings up a good point. Ammo is easy. You just need to drive there and buy it in person. No, he's right. You just buy ammo in person, and you're usually good to go. One of the nice benefits
with smokeless powder. Yeah. Well, you drive where exactly? To just out of state dealers?
Potentially, but that's a risk you don't necessarily want to take. Well, I mean, you can probably just buy it in New York, you know? Like
there's only like three gun stores left in New York City.
You gotta make the trip. You know, that's like.
But I mean, but the thing is, I think they wouldn't even sell to you unless you have have the right permits.
Right.
It's really really tricky here.
Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, just don't buy in full bulk. There's spots upstate that says Smokane. So I mean, yeah, they just drive to where you gotta go. You know, make a field trip for it. You know, don't be suspicious. I mean, I guess is the lesson. You know, like it's like don't when the officer pulls you over, it's like, hey, how's it going, officer? You know, like unless like they're like tracking you, you're probably golden.
Because there's some really un-American laws here. Like, you know, if you even come into New York City with a concealed carry permit, and you have
there is no
you don't have a
reciprocity.
permit in New York City. Like they arrest like hundreds of people every year without a state gun license, just for flying into New York, and they think that they have the right in New York, but they don't.
Yeah, Smokane brings up a good point. Map out stores, buy a few rounds from each. You know, it's just it's not easy, but you gotta just kind of be smart about it. You know, and have a plan. Like, you're probably not gonna get pulled over and shit, but like, you know, have a plan. You know, have an alibi. You know, be like, hey, you know, I'm visiting. You know, I came here for a baseball game or something. You know, just have something like that you can verifiably prove. So weird we have to talk about like these things like they're actually criminal acts.
Yeah, that's infuriating. I actually thought that Donald Trump, as a New Yorker who has a concealed carry, and the way he talks about gun rights, I would have thought he would have tried to do something about this in New York.
Not much he can do.
He's a New Yorker.
I mean, what he has done more than anything else he did. I mean, he appointed potentially pro-gun Supreme Court justices, which that's unfortunately the limits of what we can do. You know, because the Supreme Court has way too much power. So, more or less, that's about all we can do. Just buying rounds for a baseball game. Exactly, Smokane. Yeah, but Smokane's right. Don't just leave it in a duffel bag in your front seat.
No.
This guy didn't end so well.
Maybe I'll even grab my old boomer dead and we'll go make a road trip.
Yeah, exactly. A road trip for the coming Civil War. You know, if you get caught, I mean,
really
just
would
be like, oh, I was just buying. I mean, if you plan it. Remember, you're not a prepper. You need enough rounds to load a single firearm. If you need more than 14 rounds, you have a way bigger problem. We might have a way bigger problem.
That's actually true. I would believe. But I mean, ideally, I would really like to get out of the city and convince my family to come with me. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. My family is kind of set in their ways. They're not gonna leave unless things get really bad. My father has his property and stuff in his house.
You could live like kings if you own property in New York.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. I'm like, if you sell your house in Brooklyn, you could buy like 3 houses down south.
Live like a king. Concealed city GAT is literal last resort. That's a fair point. Wait a minute, where do we go? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sad reality is that criminals in New York City have no problem getting firearms. You have to slide under.
I did. I realized that it wasn't glass.
Yeah, I thought it was for a second too.
Just keep your guns loaded. You know, if they come to take them away, just say you lost them in a hunting accident. And if they're shooting people in their houses, you know, fire back.
Yeah.
You know, like, sorry, no, they're clearly illegitimate at that point. I mean,
I do have the extent of what I'm able to get without having firearms. I have like a couple of crossbows. I have swords.
I mean, you're gonna want something where you can lay someone out from 90 yards, or accurately.
Yeah.
Because believe me, they can lay you out from 90 yards.
I know.
But in close quarters, you may have the advantage. That's the thing you gotta remember. You know, a well-placed ambush can deal with the problem. You know.
If they bust in the house, I might actually be able to like stop the invasion with a crossbow.
Am I ready for 1776 to commence again? Yeah, I got the prints going already. I'm obviously printing terrain for my miniature game. Definitely didn't order pins and screws and print a lower. 100% no. Definitely not. I would never do that, even though it's perfectly legal. Why would I need that? I mean, everything's gonna be fine, right, guys?
Hey, maybe even one day I might ask you about those specific parts.
But yeah,
And how
only
to do those sort of
hypothetically, of
things.
course.
Casino on the outside, death factory on the inside.
I know that. Yeah, I'm just. You're probably. I don't know. You probably need to be just as cautious as I do where you are.
More or less, yes. So that boss room.
I feel like the eyes of Big Brother are on me when I start talking about these things, and I shouldn't because those are my rights.
Exactly how Ferris gets it. You need a 3D printer to start printing 40K miniatures, 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to say that the Ender 3 is a fine printer for printing functional parts much more than miniatures. Absolutely would not say that.
Well, you were talking about CDC with aluminum, but you can do that stuff with printing with 3D plastic,
You
right?
can, but like I'd rather have like a metal, a forged part than a
Yeah.
yeah. PETG is pretty solid, but
There is more to do, my friend.
yeah. 6K.
Oh, there's that thing up there.
You can just shoot it. Where's the hot sauce? Oh, it's up top.
I've done this DLC before too, and I can't remember.
But here we go. Ladders.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ender 3 is a very good printer, Alfarius. Would most highly recommend it for beginners especially, but the reality is if you want high detail, no matter what, you're gonna have to, tune it quite a bit. And I would highly recommend tuning it, but tuning it's a fucking nightmare. If you can find someone that will tune it for you, I would take them up on that offer. No matter if they charge you like $100 to get it like within the amount you need it tuned, I'd fucking say yeah, just pay them. Unless you're really autistic about getting things like exactly as you want it to be.
So does that? I mean, that thing prints with aluminum and melts the aluminum.
No, FDM prints with plastic mostly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm mixing up what you were talking about, because you were talking about 3D printing, and then you were talking about CDC.
Well,
and
no,
I know a
CNC
few.
machinery is
CNC, whatever.
is
Yeah.
it's a what do you call it? A deformative process, while 3D printing is an additive process, right? Because 3D printing you add layers, and CNC you remove layers. Basically, it's the difference between like sculpting. Well, no, the difference between carving and sculpting.
I see.
But both. You have a machine that you have a machine that's going to wait, what the hell? Just open.
You ever see this guy on YouTube named? He's a German guy named Jörg Sprav. No, I guess not. Okay, because yeah, he's got a similar problem over there. He's dealing with the German self-defense laws, and he's been skirting those for years, trying to find ways to defend his house and his family. And he's kind of like an engineer and an inventor, and he's been creating all of these things that are like his goal was to find a way to get a crossbow to hold a magazine full of arrows so that you can fire multiple times. And he invented a really good one that he's CNCing it now and selling it. I was thinking of buying one of those if at least to start with.
I mean, a CNC machine would be optimal for creating, like functional parts, because you can work with metal rather than most 3D printers that use metal are prohibitively expensive, like 5,000 to 10,000 at minimum, and most good ones are industrial grade that cost $70,000 or $80,000.
Oh, the one died. Yeah, it's funny that he was inventing this shit and testing it out with just making it out of plywood, and then he went and got it made out of aluminum for the market. But yeah, he invented this crossbow that it'll hold a magazine full of arrows, and I was like, that's something that I could at least buy one of those and not have to worry about the gun laws, because I know I'm allowed to own that in New York.
Sure.
Well, I can have it shipped here without getting in trouble.
And also, Smoking, you're absolutely correct that a CNC machine and a 3D printer operate on the same basic principles. You put some code in it, it tells it where to cut in a CNC machine, and with a 3D printer, it tells it where to extrude. Yeah, they're effectively the same machine, just one is added and one's removed, which is why there are a lot of dual 3D print / CNC machines, because they operate on the same basic principles.
Is Fed calling me autistic? Am I coming off as especially autistic right now?
Oh, it's probably me. No, he's probably talking to me. Talking about 3D printing and...
Oh.
Long story short, yes, you can print a train.
You could print your train set.
Exactly. This is the important part. Oh no, Kerboy, you're a furry? Yeah, and honestly, Smoking, you're right. Like, learning how the G-code works and how to fuck with it, like, is really good. A really good skill just to know for creating things.
Yeah, I know. I come off as autistic sometimes. I try to keep it under control.
Whoa. That bounced like crazy. Oh, the code's dead on the ground. I didn't realize. Those guys are weak.
Yeah. Especially when you have corrosive weapons, you just melt them.
Whoa.
Yeah, with the 3D printing and stuff, of course we were just talking about cosplaying as Borderlands characters.
Definitely.
I just wanted
You need to print like fake toy guns to cosplay next Halloween. Just knocking the Halloween costume out of the way in November.
I used to, when I did Halloween, I used to use the stuff that I used to wear at the, for the medieval and Renaissance performances when I was doing that. So I was like, I got armor and stuff, I'll just wear that. But, at one point when I got out of that, I needed some money, so I sold most of that stuff that I used to have.
I don't want a freaking loader factory next
It was my excuse to go out walking around the city wearing a sword and stuff.
Let's be honest, you didn't need an excuse to want to do that.
Chocolatey on the outside, delicious
No.
crunchy loader factory on the inside.
But I didn't need an excuse to do it, but I needed an excuse to get away with it.
Entertainers, and while they're up here, we launch a freaking invasion.
Plenty of people
and
can
we
get away
take
with
over their dumb planet while they're giving me money.
I used to actually be walking around the city with a practice sword all the time when I'd be going to and from practices and
You
stuff.
didn't get arrested for that?
Of life. Bang, bang, bang.
No, that was actually things weren't as the cops weren't as jumpy back then.
It doesn't matter. You're dead.
like when I used to always go out in the park and practice when I was staying in when I was staying trained and in shape. Yeah, at some point, like all the cops in the neighborhood had stopped me at some point just to ask me questions. So eventually, they all knew me.
Son, you doing okay?
And
You're not about to go on a mass knighting, are you?
no. Yeah, but like people in the neighborhood, like when I used to do that, people in the neighborhood knew me, and like kids would go by, walk by, and be like, "Hey, Highlander."
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a nerdy hobby.
A bit.
But at least I know how to fight with something.
I mean, a lot of good it'll do you in an open field, but sure, I mean, in a enclosed area, you're
not
in an
at
enclosed area.
not
you
at
might be
range.
you might be at an advantage if you get the jump on someone. Do some
Yeah.
real life Ghost of Tsushima stuff. You might have to.
You just have to sit up and ambush.
Human Assassin's Creed.
I mean, really, somebody breaks in this house, and they better take me out from a distance, because if they get close enough, they're in trouble. And I have so many swords and stuff. They're just all over the place. I could always grab one.
Conceal. Then you have to conceal.
I've got you, little friend. Glad to see the life back
Oh,
in you.
You're talking about,
about,
I think you're talking about Bushido.
no, that's the Samurai Code. He's either I think he's talking about Kenjutsu or Kendo. Kendo is the way of the sword. No, it's not Kenjutsu. It's
I don't-
Kenshu, maybe?
I
I'm
don't
trying to remember
know,
which one specifically is, but Kendo is the traditional wood sword fighting in practice. I think it's Kenjutsu or Kenjutsu. But Kendo is the one, the mainstream one that the Japanese mainly do with like wooden swords. It's all about, scoring hits on your opponent on like the head or in vital places. But
Yeah, that's how you train with the Western stuff too. Like I don't really know the Eastern stuff, but we used to practice with like blunted like German swords like Schlagers or sabers, and they'd be real swords, but the edges taken off the blade. So if we do hit each other, it would
remove a
bruise,
limb,
but it
you'll
wouldn't
just
cut
get a
each other.
bruise.
Yeah. But we weren't. Well, sometimes we would use a practice foil too, but for the most part, we weren't using the wire swords, the foils to practice with.
You poke someone's eye out.
Well, we would use the fencing mask. But that was mostly a they just call it cut and thrust styles, like Italian and Hungarian sword fighting styles. Mostly with just with single sword, but sometimes we'd practice with a shield too, or a buckler.
Smokane says he was
But yeah, I
formerly
stopped
trained
doing
in
that stuff
drunken
long ago.
arguments. I think he meant formally.
I'm way out of practice these days, but
Oh man, if you didn't have cerebral palsy, Spencer, you might be a formidable foe. Being trained in swords. That'd just be difficult, I mean.
I hunt, I die, I hunt again.
Formally.
he doesn't actually,
He
does he?
does. Yeah, I think he
does?
actually does.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I believe so. Apologies if I'm incorrect. I mean, it came off meaner than I intended it, but
I didn't know if you were just teasing
I
or.
don't think so. I mean,
Well, I didn't get that impression from him. I thought he was just a little autistic like me.
I think we're all a little autistic. By that I mean anyone that's here watching this stream right now. Congratulations, you all have an autism pass. 100%. That means you can all say retarded. All of you, free to say it without consequence. Without it, you can say Spurg as well. I give you a Spurg pass, an R pass, all of it. You've all been granted the power word. Down here?
Yeah, I think most people I've met on the internet are a little spurgy, and that's fine, because so am I.
That's right. It was working against his cerebral palsy. Yeah, I wasn't just being mean. I mean, it's just it came off me. Fortunately, it's not my intent.
Oh, you little
Where did you go? Is it up
Yeah,
there?
there's just a switch we gotta hit.
I've got everything I need to finish you off.
Spedo pass
Just
abounds.
start it
Yep,
back
that's
up
right.
again. Your efforts are
I did this like a year ago, and I blitzed through it, so I don't really remember what to do.
Man, it would be really cool to have another year 2000 decision. Just watch everyone's heads explode. Be way better than what's currently looking like, where just like, yeah, well, we defrauded it successfully, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's not what we're looking to have happen. But
At this point, as much as we're all blustering about the Civil War, I really just hope it doesn't come to that.
yeah, I mean, it'd be nice.
If anything, I don't know if it's just the election, but I think these fucking lockdowns are going to cause an uprising if people don't get back to
Oh
work
yeah,
soon.
no, you're right. I mean, like, because the first set of riots, I mean, like, obviously they had powder keg moments for it, but like, that's because people were getting money to do nothing. Like, 100%, they bought those riots by passing that stimulus bill. Like, you could, like, granted, the lockdowns never should have happened. Okay, it should have all just been, hey, look, you're an adult, make your own fucking decisions, help your grandparents, help the elderly. You know, if you've got a friend, you know, who's got, like, a respiratory condition, don't let them go outside, you know, help them with their bills for a month. You know, banks, extend
Right.
some credit or something, and give them a bunch of forgivable loans. Like, that would be the ideal situation, I think. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen, because the banks want their free money as well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, but how many people do you remember in the last few months? Like, yeah, I'm getting my check, I'm getting my Trump bucks, my $1,200, yeah! You know, it's like, oh, fucking morons.
I mean, just like I keep saying what my personal situation is. Like, last year, the economy was booming with the Trump economy or whatever. And I was getting so much work last year, and it was very profitable, and I was able to put some money aside and stuff. And then they just fucking killed all of that with this lockdown. And I was getting mostly commercial work, and now all the office workers are working from home.
I don't know if
And-
those office buildings are coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think
And
they're done.
like they just totally fucked my whole thing with this.
Like,
And I was lucky that I had enough to keep surviving with, but this is gonna have to get sorted out in
I mean,
some
you're gonna
way
have to start
soon.
building other
I'm
shit.
getting
I
like
mean,
a little
like,
residential
that's what it's
work.
gotta be. Like, that's the only thing you can do. I mean, because like this paradigm shift. Like, people aren't gonna put up with having to go back to offices. Like,
Yeah.
what was it? My workplace.
And there's not even much industrial work because all our factories
Oh, I mean, now
are
they're
sent
done. I mean,
overseas.
if Joe Biden stays president, like, those factories are fucking done. Like, those jobs are
Yeah.
never coming back. I mean, the Chinese are very happy with the situation right now, and they're gonna make sure it stays. They're gonna do everything in their power to make sure it stays this way. You thought, what, $10,000 of Facebook ads? I mean, come on, this is China. People that play for keeps and have an actual stake in what's going on in the U.S. instead of Russia that has no stake in what we do, really. They're,
I mean, you know, tradesmen like me, we can do like housework for people, residential work. But if if people don't have work and they don't have the money to spend on renovating their homes and stuff, then we don't have that work either.
Yeah.
You know.
You just want the simulator to nuke itself, Smokane? A little bit.
How do we? Oh yeah, we just gotta shoot that.
What I thought. Oh, okay. I just need more bullets.
Glad to have you back.
Biden is a bargain compared to what China takes in. I mean, he was cheap. I mean, him and Kamala, like, you imagine how much dirt they have on Biden if what we've seen already, you know, with his son and his granddaughter and...
Oh, what do you mean by what China takes in.
Yeah, I don't understand like that one fully, but what I'm saying is like the amount of dirt that China must have on Joe Biden is fucking hilarious.
Oh, I agree with Lotus too. Democracy is fake and gay, and it probably always was.
What's so surprising? So many people around here forgot that. I never said it wasn't fake and gay. I've always said it's fake and gay.
You could storm half the galaxy with an army like
It
No,
doesn't
it's-
mean like
it's
I'm not
just
gonna
kind of
vote.
like-
I mean like yeah, it's fake and gay. What about it?
Yeah, it's like you use what little power you have, you know, even though you know it's bullshit.
Entire party sold us to enslavement for a few million. That's true.
This is the way of fate.
I like when my character just yells that, like, I'm on a freaking roll.
I just hope all the Wignats are happy when they have their, you know, when they have their gun rights stripped away for hate speech and wonder, what? Who could have seen this coming? No one. It's not like they told us this the whole time.
I mean, but you're
I'm talking about the
you're
ones that didn't
sort
vote.
of,
I'm not specifically talking about all. Let me be very clear.
Well,
I'm talking about the ones
But
who
I'm
said
saying
like
you're-
we have to get Biden elected to show everyone that we're not going to put up with
Oh
this.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
retarded.
You know, all the ones crying.
But if
Zion
you're,
Dawn, Zion Dawn.
I mean, but that's just like Richard
Yeah,
Spencer.
no, I think there's a
Um,
lot more. You know, there's Dingo, there's Richard Spencer. There's quite a few people.
Did Dingo say that?
Well, well, he did not go the step of let's elect Biden. He just said, I'm not going to take Trump's I'm not going to take his 5-inch dick. I don't want to take either dick. It's like, well, Spencer, well, Dingo, you don't get a choice, okay? You either get the 5-inch dick or the 8-inch dick, okay? That's what's going to fucking happen. Whether you choose or not, you're getting one of
You know
them.
that, right?
And, you know, so, fun times. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Alferis. Democracy is immoral.
I mean, what was it actually? Was it CP on your stream yesterday? Was pointing out that the studies have shown that, you know, the top 10% always gets their way anyway.
I don't know, man. They pay a lot of
And they-
taxes. The top 10% pays half the taxes in this country. Like, I don't know if I would call that always getting my way. Like, ooh, what do we have here? The fuck?
Oh, I think this was. Is this the final boss already? I haven't been paying attention.
Spencer also loves China. That's true. He does. Well, Spencer loves Iran and China, all these other countries for some reason. I don't know why.
If I just throw grenades at it, it will melt in a second.
It's a multi-phase fight, or
I think they need to turn up the difficulty in the normal mode a little
I don't
bit.
think so. We've got good guns for this fight.
with the magic hand, and
Yeah.
I'm just getting started. Once I unlock the full
Ooh, an ion
potential
Oh,
of
got
this
the ion
casino,
cannon.
you and your friggin' friends are dead.
Looks like you're really getting
The
under
ion
his
cannon is probably
Now
the
let's see if we
best
can't cut off the power to
weapon
those
in this
turrets.
DLC.
There's a pipe
Did you
nearby
get one
that
too?
Yeah, I
uses
got
the generator. Flow it to Kingdom Come.
Well, at least when it was first released, it was like melting everything in one shot. But I think they did nerf it a little.
Maybe. Well, sorry, Spencer. We made it so the Japanese couldn't conquer us, so we're not going to get to live under them.
Oh yeah, that's right. They nerfed it by making it take 6 ammo per shot.
That's probably for the best.
Because if you charge it up all the way, it does like huge damage.
Personally, even with this, even with their candidate in the White House, the Chinese model is going to collapse soon. Regardless of what they do.
Switching to emergency power reserves and locking down Tower District.
The turrets are shutting down. Good work, Vault Hunter. But we're not done yet.
I'll play around with this for a bit.
Now get the hell out of there. We've got to stop that madman.
Get the hell off of me, you freaking psycho! No, can't do
You would prefer the Japanese for what?
Yeah, that being our
for
overlords.
world rulers.
No matter what, everything
mean,
will
if
get
you're-
worse. I mean,
If you're choosing who rules over you, I guess I would choose the Japanese over the Chinese, but I don't want anyone ruling over us.
that choice.
I mean, I mean, any other nation rolling over us. That is.
Well, we had that chance. We had that election choice in this election, and we chose. Well, the voter fraud chose it for us, but you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, either way, we're still beholden to certain Middle Eastern interests.
What's
but-
actually kind of amazing, though, is that
Did you just fast travel?
I have
away?
now. Oh, wait, nope. What's actually really amazing right now is that
If you're ready to
yeah,
go,
go
I'll
ahead.
just
Fast
fast travel.
travels. What's actually really
where are we supposed-
amazing is that what's the fuck, I forgot. I'm just saying the Chinese system will collapse based on their structure of their debt and their inability to keep their output where it needs to be. Like there's only so much that they can do. You know, like they
I can't.
they have
see-
empty
I
they have
don't
empty
know.
cities everywhere, and you know, like that's
I have need of
that was them
peace.
trying to like get a bunch of excess capacity. It's not a long term strategy that will work. You know.
The ultra thermite is ready. I'm on my way.
I don't know much about economics, and I know nothing about Chinese economics.
Well, if you know anything
so-
about the Japanese in the 70s and 80s, do you remember how you're a New Yorker, right? Did you ever hear how the Japanese used to own like almost every building in Japan? Most of the building, I mean, not Japan, New York and Chicago. Like the Japanese were buying up buildings left and right, right? They had all this money that they had borrowed endlessly.
Really?
Try buying
I
everything.
don't even remember hearing
Huh?
that. I was a kid.
No,
though,
but
so-
what I'm saying is they used to own fucking everything. Now their problem was they borrowed all this money, and they just assumed they could borrow it forever. And eventually they realized they could not borrow that money anymore. And for the past 20 to 30 years, really 40 years, 20 or 30 years in the 80s, I guess now it's 40 years now. It's like 80s, 90s, 10s, and 20s and 10s. Like they're just fucked. Like they can't. They're stuck under this debt endlessly. Half their companies in Japan are what are called zombie firms. Basically, if they did not get money from the government, they would not exist.
Yeah, I think I've heard about
Right.
that.
So like, but all of this started by them borrowing money endlessly and trying to buy everything. And I mean, China is doing this exact same thing. The only difference is China has a bigger base of collateral with a bigger population base, with which to borrow more money from. But it's not like they don't just undo gravity because they claim they have a billion people. You know, like gravity still exists and will eventually get them. But it's just gonna take longer, and that's why they're buying all these ports and shit in. We nixed their tariffs, not completely, Lotus. It was because of their endless borrowing. The tariffs were part of it, but we never really came to like further free trade agreements that did it. I mean, the tariffs were hurting them more than anything.
Now stick it to the blast doors and you
Growing
shall have
companies
your
got fucked. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, they just got outpriced and outcompeted, and they could no longer borrow money. Oop.
The thermite will take some time. We must
Bye.
survive this onslaught.
Oh yeah, I remember this part.
Fortunately, the Chinese chose the exact same model and expected it will last forever, but it's not.
Yeah, this thing still does damage, but it's not like it was.
Yeah,
when
but generally
before
tariffs
they
don't
nerfed.
work. Those. Most cases. In Japan, more. I mean, like Japan still has their rice tariffs and stuff, but like that was national security based. I mean, even in spite of their tariffs that stopped like the international trucking industry from coming in and protected their car industry, like most of the reason why they dominated was like that they agreed with Western companies that they would not ever compete in the trucking market while they dominated the sedan market. It was kind of like a horse trading thing where the Japanese were like, okay, well, we get sedans, you get trucks, and that worked for a long time. But yeah, the tariffs don't work long term, and that's part of why they didn't have more collateral to borrow on, and why they're collapsing under the weight of their own debt. And unfortunately, well, I mean, I guess fortunately for us, China relies on trading with us a great deal more than we rely on trading with them. because we are the big consumer, and their consumers, you know, will not buy their products at the rates we will, or at the prices they want to sell them at.
Hey, Gush, you know a lot about money. You sure it's just a 0.5%? No.
You know, I've made that joke several times, but I mean, you gotta remember, like,
have
I'm
you?
classically trained in finance by, you know, working at a...
I know. I'm just.
I know.
But...
Working at an investment bank that may or may not have a very Irish name, you know, even though it's small, you know, a couple dudes that are worth about $1 billion each ran it, so... it was a good operation. I learned quite a lot from it.
Yeah, sometimes I really wish I just got into business or finance or something.
Honestly,
At
if
least
you're
just
not
make some money, but-
not a person that goes to college, like, you should immediately have gone into sales.
Yeah, I went to college and I was there for humanities. I was interested in. I've told you about this. I was interested in literature and writing, and that's what I went for. It wasn't the most, you know, financially motivated goal. It was just more a fulfillment type of thing.
Yeah, believe me, if there was no money incentive, I would not have spent a day in college.
Come, friend, to me.
I do have kind of creative tendencies, so I was a little motivated by that. But
I had creative tendencies. I just wanted to make money.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how can I creatively not have to work someday?
Yeah, maybe that's the approach I should have
But
taken.
that was always the intent. It was like, well, okay, people who go into finance make a lot of money. Why not do that? Worked at a bank, worked as a financial analyst, currently work as a financial analyst, but yeah, you know, heavy machinery is important.
I mean,
to an extent.
all things said, though, I do actually like the blue collar life. I like building shit with my hands.
Yeah. And I actually disagree with you, Lotus, about you having to go into debt to raise money. Because, like, you don't have to go into debt, depending on what system you set up. If you have a robust enough economy, you can sell ownership, you know, to get your capital. Like, that is very much a case. You know, you can sell stocks, you know, you can do equity raises. Like, you don't have to borrow money to build
That
up.
meme always makes me laugh.
Oh, that pet bank? Yeah.
No, the stonks meme.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not it's not the only way. It's like, oh, you got to borrow a bunch of money. It's like, well, no, you can sell ownership if you can convince people.
Like, I don't know where the stonks thing came from. It's just kind of derpy, and I like that meme.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I've worked in finance my whole life, and like, I don't even know where the stonks meme came from. Good old Torg, right?
Yeah, he should have had his own DLC, but I guess they did use him in this game in the Circles of Slaughter and stuff.
I mean, he already got his DLC in the
it's
second
kind of-
one.
Yeah. I mean, I actually never played his DLCs, but I like the character.
You can just sell ownership of your country to foreigners? Absolutely, Lotus. What are you talking about? What is the Saudi Arabian oil company? Like, what is Aramco? Like, Aramco is literally the Saudi
that's
Arabian
globalism
government
for
taking its
you.
own property and selling ownership of it to outsiders. It's worth about $1 billion. Like, what are you talking about? Of course you can sell it. You don't sell your country, you sell entities in your country. You sell, like, part of, like, the public transit system. You sell part of, like, the mining business. You sell part of the oil industry. All of these things you can fucking sell.
Oh yeah, this is plot twist or whatever.
He was wearing cargo shorts the whole time. My God. Undressed for success.
Freddy's got this!
If foreigners buy your... No, not at all. Absolutely not, Lotus. Aramco is literally only selling 5% of their national oil company. Okay, and it's estimated to be worth $1 trillion. No, just because foreigners own X percentage of your company does not mean they own you, okay? Absolutely not.
You there.
What the fuck? Was he that easy to kill?
Yeah.
Outrun.
What just fucking obliterated me?
I don't know. And why do I get upset when the Chinese buy U.S. real estate? Have I ever gotten upset about that?
Well played, sugar.
Well, I think that is a bad thing. It's
But I'm just
driving
saying,
up
like,
property
when did I
values.
complain about the Chinese buying U.S. real estate?
You did me a favor, moron.
There's no fear of foreign influence due to foreign ownership. I'm not saying that there's no fear of influence. I'm just saying that there are other ways besides... Okay, do you want the influence to be specifically from the banks or from, you know, specific investors? That's what it comes down to. Because if you take debt out from a bank, you are... The borrower is slave to the lender, okay? That is absolutely fact. So it's like you're just choosing a different master, right? If you borrow money with debt, you're now owned by the bank.
There and kick his ass.
Did you get this this auto aim sniper
I did.
rifle?
Is it any good?
I think it might be. I think it might be like a homing bullets in a sniper rifle, and it's fully automatic. It seems pretty good.
No, the bank is a foreign influence to your country, 100%. Like, absolutely. Even if it's your own bank, you're just printing money, which is an option. I mean, it's like in a vacuum, it could work. Oh shit, there might have been something back there. Oh no, it's not.
That was a gun that I think is DLC exclusive. I've never seen that one.
Probably is. Well, yes, you can endlessly print your own money, but eventually you might have a problem with that. You know, eventually it might work domestically, but like if your money's worth nothing foreign-wise and you're any way connected to the global economy, Lotus, like your money's then worthless if you're just printing the entirety of what you need. More importantly, if you're printing more than the other countries are.
I feel under-equipped when you get into these economic discussions.
It's a shit show. I like that, the stonks, the Kiwi one. If you're developing an economy, you aren't that connected to the global economy. Not anymore, Lotus. Like, name countries that aren't connected to the global economy. It's Iran, it's Syria, it's North Korea. All right, Venezuela because of their own choices. But like, there is no getting away from the global economy now, Lotus.
I forgot this is the final boss.
And like, as far as like international finance is concerned, I mean, like, if you don't have your own, this is final boss, cool. If you don't have your own like well-developed industries, like no one's going to build those for you. You're not just gonna get them out of nothing.
Oh, Vault Hunter, you actually came for me. I'm freaking trapped, so die. Otherwise,
Countries outside of
this
global
is on
homo influence? I don't know what you're talking about. This guy looks hilarious. Whoa! That looks pretty cool.
Yeah. It's Mecha Jack. This whole DLC is they're just like kind of mocking the Borderlands fans for liking Jack so much. It's like you like Jack so much. Well, here's Jack again, but it's not really Jack. It's Jack in 5 other forms.
The 4-year plan works. I don't think so.
Oh, is it that easy in this first? Oh no, he has multiple phases. I forgot. Yeah.
It's like the dad from the Venture Brothers.
I can color this no sweat.
Payment accepted. Initializing critical repair.
I could bounce off the shield.
What are you talking about, the 4-year plan, Lotus? You're gonna have to explain that. I've never heard of this. And what do you mean by worked? You mean that Dresden was bombed and people were, you know, killed left and right, and they were effectively partitioned into both a eastern and western half, one ruled by Western powers and the other ruled by Eastern powers? That's the plan you're saying worked, Lotus? That plan? I don't know enough about the plan.
Repair fee increased. Are you interested in our ultra-high interest payment plan, perhaps?
What are we talking about now?
I don't know. They're talking about pre-war Germany, World War II of some kind, I would imagine.
Oh,
Not too informed on the history of that myself, but
yeah, I'm not.
it's a very different world that you're coming into than what today's. Oh, you fucker. Got me. Okay, as long as you're not. I'm just saying though that like that was an inevitable. I think that was an inevitable situation, that war, Lotus. I think it was made inevitable by the need to expand and ensure a bigger reserves of petroleum and expansion, right? Like, like they didn't really have a choice there.
I like how I could just bounce off the shield.
I'll pay it all back anyway. Extracting down payment. Oh, what are these needles? I hate needles. Ah! Activating blood-cooled mode.
Now he's the jackpot. Oh, I get it. It's Handsome Jack's jackpot.
Yeah. It's the jackpot.
Yeah, but without enough resources to expand Lotus, it wouldn't have continued.
For flying things, I'm like, yeah, fly around all you want. I'll use the homing rocket.
I got 3 legendary class mods for you.
Emergency.
I got 3 legendary class mods, and 2 of them are for you.
Let me see if any of these are good for you. One sec.
The casino just started moving. I can see it from Sanctuary.
I'm probably just gonna stick with the class mod I have. These are I know the mod that drops in this DLC, so if you want to hold it and make a Moe's character later, go ahead.
I see.
I like to use for Moe's I use the Bloodletter class mod because it makes her it increases her shields, and her shields recharge every time she's supposed to be healing from something.
Huh. And I disagree, Lois. I don't think they would have traded with the Soviets.
Winning hand
As far as Mussolini, yes, Mussolini would have been a fine trading partner, but the Western powers were not going to let him keep taking Africa. You know, like they weren't, like Britain was not going to surrender its former colonial interests to Mussolini, which basically meant that by aiding and abetting Italy, like they would have eventually had to defend themselves from the Western powers. So it's like, this is the problem. It doesn't work.
I'm doing this just to see how funny it looks on your stream with me sliding back and forth in front of your face.
Oh, I can't reach the pad without getting sliced to ribbons. Shark Knuckles, this is a real Jack 22. Ow!
Approaching event horizon.
It's the stream's on delay, so yeah, that does look funny.
Okay,
Would have been way more limited? Possibly.
I guess
You're assuming that Big Brother America wouldn't come in.
I'm really sorry, Moxie. I guess this means no second date.
No. Timothy, I shouldn't have written you off. We're not leaving you behind. I'm not letting Jack win.
Nah, I think it was always going to expand, Lotus. The U.S. wasn't, like, especially wasn't under Wilson, but under FDR, wasn't going to allow, you know, German hegemony in Europe unless they lost D-Day.
Give me a second.
You know, and the Soviets probably weren't going to parlance having, you know, their the expansion of their system from reaching Europe. They weren't going to allow that either.
It's funny how we ended up with German hegemony in Europe anyway.
Ow.
Oh my god!
Except it's like a liberal Germany.
Vault Hunter, grab that hand.
Yeah, that'll do the trick.
I mean, it is a robot hand, right? So you can just get another one.
Well, it looks like it was his real hand because he's bleeding, right?
Well,
No, it's Spark.
Protocol aborted.
Oh yeah, that's great. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be his real hand. It looks like it's a bloody stump. Well, it's Borderlands. You can get a robot hand.
Need a hand?
Moxie. You know, I've been wondering, why did you say
oh, Enos streaming Half-Life 2? Based.
I was hungry.
yeah, but Jack, he was the worst.
Oh, honey.
I think today
I thought you were Jack.
I keep putting it off, but I think today I'm gonna set off OBS and start a little streaming
Nice.
too. I keep saying I'm gonna do that soon.
Not even a little.
I gotta tinker with it and figure out how it works. They have such bad bad selection of music in this game. Like they ended off the original campaign with the main campaign ends with this girl is on fire.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cringy.
Pretty much. I remember like it was a bad game, but it had like the best song at the end of it. It was Final Fantasy 15. They play like a really great rendition of "Stand By Me" at the end of it. And like Final Fantasy 15 is like a game about like basically like four bros just like go like trying to save the world, you know. And they like sticking through them like sticking through their dude through everything, you know. And like they play "Stand By Me" at the end, and it's kind of great. It kind of like really works.
Well, if you remember, the Stand By Me movie in the 80s was about some boys going on their adventure.
Yeah, I never saw it myself.
You never saw it? That was, you should watch it sometime.
I think I've seen the
It's not a
Family Guy
bad movie.
parody of it. That's about it.
It's kind of like Goonies with,
Never seen Goonies.
you know, just... You never saw Goonies? Oh, you should see Goonies.
Oh.
I would put Goonies up there with classic 80s movies like Ghostbusters.
I also watch comedies from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, that's when comedies were actually good. I pretty much like when I'm looking for a movie to watch these days, and I look at the new releases. If I see that it's a comedy now, I don't even bother reading the plot synopsis or anything, because every comedy that's come out in the last like 15 years, only with a few exceptions, has been really terrible. It's just like they don't have it anymore. They don't bother writing good scripts for comedies anymore. Like back in the 80s, you had all these original ideas for comedies or semi-comedies, like Ghostbusters, like Back to the Future.
That was funny that we killed the view with the tearaway pants.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Got the Rico shield here. It reflects projectiles. I got those too.
Spend a lot of money on these.
I skipped the credits, so if you're letting them
Yeah,
roll,
I'll roll.
let me know when you're done.
I love Stripes. Stripes is great. Never seen National Lampoon Vacation or Trading Places.
I wasn't crazy about what's his name, Chevy Chase movies.
I like Chevy Chase in Community.
You mentioned that show. I never seen that either.
Chevy Chase kind of plays the doddering old, really old dude, basically. But he's part of their community college study group.
Spend my skill point here. Okay.
Sung Won Cho. That's funny. Apparently my guy's played by, I think, a Korean dude.
One more skill point, and we could have two final skills and 2 skill trees.
I think for me it's a couple more, because I skilled some extras on others, but...
Oh. Because, you know, the last skill on the skill tree is if you have 2 of them, it's probably pretty nutty.
Yep.
Like, when I was playing it a year ago, you could only get 1 of them because the level cap was 50.
Fletch. Used Cars is your favorite 80s comedy, Alfarius? Never heard of it.
Never seen that one.
Oh goody, Abby's live. I can host her. Oh, Nick Fuentes is live. Got 24,000 viewers. I'm curious what he's talking about. Probably. He went offline a bit earlier last night.
Most destroyed cars in a movie. I don't need that gun. Why am I holding that? drop in some extra stuff when you're done with the credits. If you want any of it.
These cars obscure but kind of funny.
A bit on a string.
That sort of like synthwave music during the credits is kind of cool.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like an 80s movie or something. An 80s sci-fi
Yeah.
movie.
Have a good one, Ominous.
Take care, Ominous. So now we've finished all the DLCs. After this, you want to do the main plot and maybe do a new game
That's
plus?
what I was thinking.
Okay, cool. Because I figure you can level up to 65 now, so and these levels past 50 are slow. So I bet another playthrough in New Game Plus would probably hit 65 like in the middle of the game or something.
Stolen ballots
And
were
then
found under a rock on the side of the road in Glendale, Arizona.
Probably they'll add like another expansion that brings it up to level 69 like they did with Borderlands 2 because 69 is the funny number.
It is a funny number.
Oh yeah, and we got a room full of treasure chests over here too.
Yep. Oh, that's funny. They say that Wisconsin turnout was 89% and its all-time high was 73% in 2004.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think a 15, 16% above the all-time high is realistic, but it's 5 standard deviations from the mean.
If anything, I would think more people would rush out and vote for Trump because of all these riots and shit going on.
I think they did, but I think they also, tipped the scale.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw somebody posted in your Discord. It looks like some screwy shit going on in Michigan.
Yep.
They should do like post-credit shenanigans with these, like the Marvel movies or something.
They really should.
Because they only do that so y'all sit and look at the credits.
Yep.
What is that, Pepe? He's
I don't know. He's pushing his fingers together.
is he shy? He's shy Pepe or something? That's shy high school Pepe who has a crush on a girl and doesn't know what to say.
Possibly. Been riots, but they think they've won.
Well, Spencer, you said you're in Long Island, right? You haven't had riots out in Long Island, have you? We haven't even had riots really in Brooklyn during all of this.
Huh.
We've had some marches in Brooklyn because they like to gather for some reason outside of what's it called? I forget what the area is called, but outside of where they have the WWE wrestling matches for some reason.
I don't know too much about the WWE myself.
Yeah, I don't either, but I know that stadium is where they have them here.
Yeah. Let's see. Rifting gun, the Rico.
I think is it the Jacob Javits Center? Is that what it's called? I
I
forgot.
don't actually know.
Yeah.
Maybe their checks didn't clear yet. That's a good one. Oh, this is kind of cool. Look at all these chips and shit.
Yeah.
Got a painting of Angel, of course. Statues.
They should at least populate these rooms with the red chests.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, there's one. There's only one of them,
I think
right?
there's two,
Or
at
two
least.
of them. Because at least those ones usually have a higher chance of having legendaries.
Is it really just two?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you quit to the menu and you come back, you could actually fight the boss again and loot this room again if you wanted to farm it.
Yeah, but
yeah, like you could do that with the vault bosses too, the vault guardians, and then you could loot the vaults again. I never really found that very fun to continue farming the same boss over and over again.
Right. Let's go back to Sanctuary,
people
and I
like
think
to
we'll
do
call
that.
it for that right there, right?
Okay. And check the mist loot machine.
Hey, what's up, Hate Farmer?
I think we're actually in the main plot. We're only still like halfway through it.
I think we're a little further than that, because we're at like the last world, I think.
You know what they should let you do if you already have like characters that have unlocked the True Vault Hunter mode. They should let you just start a new character or move over your new character to True Vault Hunter mode later on. Oh, well, my game crashed. I guess that's me quitting for today.
Oh, well, I left the game.
Oh.
All right. Well, Johnny, post your link in the chat in case you decide to go live sometime soon. Where can they find you?
Okay, it's DLive/Johnny Medieval. I'm gonna set up my stuff probably sometime this week and start experimenting with streaming. It'll probably be really awkward at first when I try to do it on my own and don't have somebody else to talk to. But if you want to come and live through my growing pains as a streamer, you can come and join me.
All right, you've heard it, folks. Go find Johnny Medieval on DLive. All right, I'm gonna leave the chat and I'm gonna play a video and head out. All right. You have a good one, sir.
All right,
hopefully
take care, Ghost.
Trump somehow pulls this one out in the courts. Let's go.
Hopefully.
All right, it's just me. It's just me. That's all that's left. What's up, fellas? All right, I'm going to put on the pre-roll that I have, and we're going to play a video. I don't know which one. We need something uplifting, probably. I say take on me, maybe. Nah. Well, yeah, we'll go with Callie. We'll go with Live Again. We're gonna also host. We're gonna host after this.
Oh, Scotty, it's the end of the party. Let's hit the road before I have to flash back to Shinigami Modo Shinu Hodo Isogashikute. Gotta run, but thanks for watching what I put out, though it's not a ton. Excuse me, sorry, time hen. Time to say
Alright, cool.
goodbye
We'll host
again.
Abby
Promise
after
it's
this.
a matter of time before we're best friends. It's not the end of your Mori, cause every closed door is just the intro of a brand new story. One wish that I can't pretend I don't wanna see come true. I know it wouldn't make a difference if you thought of me as much as I think about you. But maybe it's deliverance from the pain I know is coming on when my old soul's finally
guns
gone.
loaded,
It's not wrong
folks.
to think about it, but I'll stop for tonight.
Stay on
'Cause we're immortal
standby.
forever in the songs that we write, you know. Sorta say goodbye.
That's what I'm
The
telling
end,
ya.
I'm not sorry,
You know.
but I wanna see you again sometime.
If they do,
A song in my
steal this
heart,
one and give it to
word
Biden.
falling on
Let's
your
focus
mind. Wait
on the
till
next
we
4
leave it
years
all
trying to put him in jail.
That's
what I say we do.
Close your eyes for a minute and envision a place where everybody's cherishing life in one same space. And it's embarrassing to say, cause you're the one that I chase. See, mortality's what makes a life sweeter to taste, right? Fatalities, fallacies, sweet and sour, still a freeze. Time with me and you, refreshing like a haunted breeze. Honestly, messing with the reaper mentality. Sleeping on the fact that history has told me how to be. Do I despise human life? Something really I ain't thought of. But I die inside a little when we say Jamata. Ningen no kanjo wa fuyo Jamata. Even so, mada mada, shinzo bata bata. It's not enough just to see you every once in a while. Searching in the darkness of my world for a smile. There's you. Mata asu to asatte. Watashi tachi no te kitto kasaneru. Sora sora say goodbye. The end. I'm not sorry, but I wanna see you again sometime. A song in my heart, a world of worry falling on your mind. Wait, don't you leave it all behind. この瞬間が宝物。君たちと私いつまでも今日も生きてよかったと言ったら幸せ。そろそろ say goodbye. See you again sometime. La da 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 da. この瞬間が宝物。君たちと私いつまでも今日も生きてよかった。マジよかった。So to say goodbye, the end. I'm not sorry, but I wanna see you again sometime. A song in my heart, a world of worry falling on your mind. Wait, don't we leave it all behind? この瞬間が宝物。君たちと私いつまでも今日も生きてよかったと言ったら幸せ。So say goodbye. La da da da. See you again sometime. A song in my heart.
All the Hollow girls are adults, Spencer. They'd be violating some serious child labor laws, Spencer, if they were using children for these two.
Signing off.
Alright, thank you, Callie. Alright, I'm gonna go host Abby. Go to her channel, give her some love, give her a sub. Cheer her up. I know she's British, but... well, fuck it. Alright, folks. Stay ready. Hold the line. This is still a winnable election. It's bleak, but... come on.